Let's go to a familiar face in Tasmania, former Liberal Senator for that great state, Eric Abetz, who's now Tasmania's Business and Transport Minister. Good to talk to you again, Eric. You're looking forward to another election?
Chris, great to be on the program again. I've got to say I'm not looking forward to another election, but that is as a result of Dean Winter and the Greens blowing up the state parliament in a very nasty personal vote of no confidence against the Premier as opposed to the budget. And there's a fundamental principle here, and that is Dean Winter and the Greens don't choose the leader of the Liberal Party. We determine that. If they don't like the leader, have a vote of no confidence in the government, but don't try and pick us off one by one. We're a united team and we fight together.
Yeah, it's a pretty dramatic political turn of events, and maybe a tactic that Winter ended up with something he wasn't expecting. But give us a sense of Tasmanians. Are they angry about having to go to the polls again because of this stunt, or are people relishing the chance to perhaps settle the divide?
People are red-hot angry with Dean Winter. A media outlet undertook a poll of Tasmanians, and sure, these are never exact, but with over 5,000 respondents, Jeremy Rockcliffe got 4,800 likes, Dean Winter only 200. Labor voters everywhere, as I've been out on the streets, are coming up and saying, Eric, never thought we'd be voting Liberal, but what Dean Winter has done is just so immature, so irresponsible. We've got to give you guys a go. And we are now fighting for majority government. All we need is another 4 seats. Labor, to achieve that, need twice as much, 8 seats. They're not going to get there. So our appeal to our fellow Tasmanians is the minority parliament regrettably has not worked despite our best endeavours. They've blown it up. We've got to get the mature adults back in the room with a majority Liberal government under Jeremy Rockcliffe, and that's what we'll be fighting for right up until 6 p.m. on July the 19th.
We'll see, of course, with 5 weeks to go, but it wouldn't surprise me that people will be a bit upset about being forced to the polls, because it wasn't brought about by a major issue or a crisis in the government. It was just brought about by this no confidence motion. So we'll see how things panned out on July the 19th. The big issue, of course, both in Tasmania and the one of national interest, is the footy stadium, is whether or not it's a precondition from the AFL. You don't get the team in Tasmania unless this stadium is built. Both sides, both your government and the Labor opposition, say they'll back the current plan. Is that expected to hold in place throughout the campaign? Is that rock solid?
Yeah, look, we are committed to the stadium. There's no doubt about that. And let's be clear, back in 2019, the organically grown Tasmanian task force for an AFL team recommended a stadium in the CBD at the current location with a roof. And so that's been part of the Tasmanian plan for about 6 years. What's happened in recent times is that the Labor Party, they were against it, now they're for it, and now there's a very real suspicion that Dean Winter blew up the parliament for the sake of his mate Paul Lennon, who has another scheme and another proposal for this particular industrial wasteland. And so people are very cynical. There was, as you said, Chris, there was no real reason to have this vote of no confidence. This was disruption, negativity writ large, and possibly with a subtitle of trying to do a deal for Paul Lennon, and that just won't be accepted by the people of Tasmania, irrespective of their view on the stadium.
Yeah, we'll see. Dean Winter at the moment saying that Labor are backing that stadium as well. So we shall see. We'll keep in touch. Eric, happy campaigning in the meantime. Eric Abetz, the former Liberal Senator for Tasmania.